Good day. This is HJT Views on current affairs. Today, we will be talking on succession of top positions in corporates of India, making it clear that this does not talk about promoter groups where family members are supposedly ready to step into position and take over. The intent is not to talk about clear promoter groups which have a high stake in their entities or a majority stake, and who will ensure that their related party will get into top positions. I'm talking about the Indian public sector and the Indian private sector, which is not promoter driven. The fact of the matter is that in the private sector of India, non promoter private sector of India, the whole idea of succession planning has not really taken great root. There are some entities, there are some institutions where this has struck a deep chord, and you have for every senior position one of three or four people who are supposedly ready to take over. But in many other corporates, the new top position, the chairman or the CMD or the MD, whatever you call it, is filled in by an outsider who is searched by HR consultants and then shown to be ready to take over the top slot at the company. This brings us to the very core question: what has happened to succession planning within the company? Why is it that companies which claim to have a series of employee training, HR practices, having everybody ready to move into the higher slot, etc., are not able to find out people who can fit into the top slot when the vacancy arises, whether it is retirement, whether it is resignation, whether it is moving to another position, or whether it is death. Also, the other part of it is, why are top executives holding senior positions unwilling to move out? We had the case of ITC. Sadly, the top position fell vacant by death. And for the next 2, 3 years, the new person at ITC really went through a very tough time. Finally, ITC is now coming back on its own, on its feet, and is making waves and again becoming the stock market dear that it once upon a time was. But why is it that the board of directors of ITC did not feel it necessary to bring in a new person, although the incumbent was well past his 70s? Similarly, in the case of the HDFC twins, the HDFC and HDFC Bank, and the proposed merger, it is believed that one reason for this merger was the top leadership was aging. They were all in their plus 60s, 65, 70s, and therefore this merger was done. I don't know what is the logic behind the merger, the whatever is coming out, whatever has come out, is showing the rate of interest, benefits, etc., etc. But the market has not taken this news in a very positive manner. And HDFC itself, management itself has admitted that we have failed to convey the advantages of the merger to the market participants, which doesn't speak a lot about corporate news being given out and the manner in which it is being given out on such an important topic. Of course, the fact remains, why does the private sector have to look outside for its top slots and not within? Is that not a failure of training and succession planning at HR? Of course, so far as the public sector is concerned, my exposure on to them is on the public sector banks and insurance entities, and evidently they seem to have some sort of plan of succession in place. They have executive directors, they have the concept of the top man in position, and they do have a shuffling of the pack, persons moving from one bank to the other. And basically, I think the public sector, at least the financial institutions, seem to be managing the top slot change a lot better than the private sector is doing. And that does raise the question that where is it that the private sector is failing in such an important area of work like succession planning? Somebody needs to give a thought to this, because as India grows and its management needs increase, this failure of having a person ready to step in is going to cost a lot. After all, the board of directors, the shareholders, the creditors, etc., would want some comfort on the person who is coming in terms of their exposure, their knowing the person, their knowing his abilities, etc. Often, when somebody from outside comes in, there are cultural clashes, there are emotions that come in, there is some negativity because somebody feels they should have gotten the position, has not got it. He may quit or move out or non cooperate. Whatever it is, those issues are live. All of us are humans and all of us will react to things in a human manner. None of us is Superman, that we will react differently. And this issue, I believe, is not being adequately handled at senior corporate levels. I'm talking about at the board, etc., and needs to be handled much better. This ends my talk of today. Till we meet again, have a good day. Till then, Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, Jai Mumbai. Bye.